Well, looks like Kevin Smith can't stay away from raging on Twitter after getting dunked on for making Clerks 3 and taking money from that Harvey fellow that so many people seem to forget funded a lot of his projects. And he is now having a internet slap battle with a puppet, ignoring many valid criticisms from YouTubers. This on the backs not just of his incredibly hot take that Batgirl should have been finished and produced simply because the main character was Latina. Not because, I mean, ignoring the fact that the movie was a disaster by Warner Brothers' own admission. Kevin Smith says, oh no, you've got to publish this movie because it's a Latina. Getting horribly dunked on for that. Now he's getting awfully defensive about Clerks 3, a movie that really shouldn't exist. It's a soulless cash grab. You know, Kevin Smith is a guy that, you know, in the past has spoken out against sequels. And this one, like, man, you know, Zack and Miri, pretty good movie, to be honest with you. The original Clerks and Mallrats, enjoyable, a product of their time. Lightning in a bottle, I would say. I'm not sure they even really hold up. I've had very little interest in like going back to rewatch them. Maybe they would, though, to be honest. I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. But this latest meltdown is surely something to behold. And we're going to get right into that after a quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pinned comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. And I know it's kind of like a weird thing to think about changing your undergarments, but I think that you've got a lot to gain and very little to risk, so check it out. So, of course, we have the Kevin Smith's incredibly bad look to cancel the Latina Batwoman, but now we've got, I don't know how he thought this was going to go, but apparently fellow YouTuber Yellow Flash tweeted, I wish Patton Oswalt and Kevin Smith would just F off. This was yesterday. And I'm pretty sure that's a reference to something that I've talked about too, that so many times Kevin Smith and Patton Oswalt and Will Wheaton get like, for some reason, foisted up as like these king of the nerds. Like they speak for nerd culture when most of us don't agree with anything they say. Kevin Smith, for example, is a documented liar. Remember how he said he was never a fan of Master of the Universe or He-Man, but then said in an interview when he had a show to sell that he was a super huge mega fan of He-Man. That's like an actual thing that happened. He was caught in 4K and lost the trust of everybody. Nobody likes a fake geek. And look, it's impossible to be a fan of everything. And I try to be upfront. You know, when I talk about Star Wars, like I don't connect to Star Wars like a lot of my viewers do. It's not that movie for me. Ghostbusters is that movie for me. But like, I'm honest about it and upfront, and I try to represent their feelings and opinions without pretending that I'm a super huge mega fan of Star Wars. The same thing is true for, you know, a lot of things. But like Will Wheaton and Kevin Smith, they're all happy to pretend that they're huge fans of things as long as they can get cast in something. Well, Yellowfish said that, a sentiment I agree with. Then he quote tweets him, desperate to sell tickets for his Clerks movie that no one cares about. The first step to me effing off starts with you unfollowing me, mega fan. He's quote tweeting Yellow Flash here. We just added Atlanta, Orlando, Tampa, blah, 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 Durham. Did you get your tickets yet? My follows me, friend. Tickets at this. To which we see Pimp Master Broda reply with this.
Clerks 3? But the second one ended perfectly. Oh, mostly because you weren't a cuckold. don't cry yet. I'm just getting started. Oh, now, I'm not here to ask you to apologize to Clownfish TV, but rather to preemptively apologize to your movie Clerks 2.
Actually, Pitmaster Broder brings up a good point. He said Clownfish TV was lying, that He-Man would... Clownfish TV, another YouTuber, reported that Masters of the Universe would basically be a Tila show and that Adam would be in the background, and they were 100% right. And Kevin Smith at the time like quote tweeted him and called him a liar.
Clerks 3 shits itself.
Oh,
You became everything you used to criticize. A has-been. Okay, now you can cry, bitch.
and then Kevin Smith replies directly to that saying, not sure, but sales are strong regardless. You get your tickets yet? Keep crying, Kevin. We're all laughing at you. Again, if I do, will you apologize to Clownfish TV? Remember when Kevin had wit? If he unfollows you, will you apologize to Clownfish? I mean, like, you fell off hard, leave back or living rent free in your head. I mean, just where are all the people? Where are all the Clerks fans? Where are all the Clerks fans? And I actually feel bad for a lot of these actors and actresses because I don't know if they've really been able to kind of break free of that Kevin Smith type role. I suppose you could look at some of the big names that were in the early films, and they certainly did. But a lot of these other people kind of rely on Kevin Smith, to pay the bills. I don't get it. And then you have like, now he quote tweets Pitmaster saying, me and my friends will pop in a DVD of Zack and Miri and pretend that was the last time you directed something when Clerks 3 comes out. Kind of like how a lot of people didn't acknowledge anything past Highlander 1. To which Kevin Smith replies, your plan to pretend Clerks movie doesn't exist would sadden me if I wasn't a big proponent of grown-ups indulging in imagination. So I support this artsy protest. As for Zack and Miri, thank you for watching any of my films. Like a hilarious Cope and Sheath. And then he pretends, he says, Kevin Smith, since I'm trending, buy these tickets. 500 likes. How many of these Kevin Smith followers are bots, do you think? He has 3 million Twitter followers, and he can barely muster 500 likes. Like, I don't even understand. And most of the people replying here, don't exactly seem super pumped. And you could see Pitmaster Broda replying, your word means less than nothing after how Masters of the Universe turned out. I'd trust the IRS before you. And then Kevin Smith replies, I don't recall giving you my word. Bro, you literally did. You told everyone that you were a huge fan, massive, huge fan of Masters of the Universe. And you lied. You told us that He-Man would be front and center in his own show. And you lied. These are things that you said in interviews. Who were you talking to in these interviews? Just the interviewer, or was it for the fans? Like, he responded, Goofy is unstoppable. I absolutely love Pitmaster Brody. You should definitely follow him. He writes, people ignoring the most recent Matrix movie was pretty effective when it came out. What's hard to ignore is having 3 million followers and having to quote tweet to beat a 50,000 follower account. Elon Musk should know how many of your followers are bots. Because he basically Pitmaster ratioed him, and then he made sure to quote tweet him to try and beat it. It's sad. It's sad to me. And then you see, why do you have to promote Shill Clerks 3 on Twitter so hard? Is it because you don't have Mr. Harvey anymore for easy promotion and worked with him for years? You'll never be able to wipe that from people's imaginations. And he shows Clerks 2, production company, the Harvey Company. And yes, that company. I mean, this is just not going well. The geek culture, a lot of people use the term gatekeeping. I think gatekeeping is a good thing when used effectively. It shouldn't be used to prevent new people from discovering the same thing that you love based on any of their inalienable characteristics. Like, so many people wrote articles about Magic the Gathering, like, oh, they don't like girls play Magic, which is baloney sausage, because anytime a girl came into the local game shop, every nerd in there was tripping over themselves to help them out and give them bonus, give them trades, buy them stuff, buy them sodas and chips and all this. So I never saw that in all my years, and I've been to dozens of LGSs, but local gaming stores. But you know, gatekeeping like succubuses like Kevin Smith out of from ruining things you loved, I think that's a good thing. And Kevin has outed himself as basically a liar. He just pretends he loves stuff because, reasons, because money. And this argument on Twitter has been absolutely amazing to watch. Shout out to Pitmaster Broda for breaking him. And, again, not even be able to muster 1,000 likes and getting ratioed on most of your stuff when you have 3 million followers. I think it's pretty. I mean, he's on Twitter all day promoting this live show, which doesn't appear to have hardly anyone on it that other than maybe Muse that you'd want to see. Nobody wants to see Kevin Smith. I know there's some hardcore Clerks fans, but man, Clerks 3 is a definition of a movie that really shouldn't exist. I hope you enjoyed this video though, and we'll talk to you again real soon.